Imagine this for a second. You walk into a hospital, expecting care, expecting safety, but maybe there's a hidden problem, like a flaw in the oxygen pipes, or maybe the fire system's out of date.
Yeah, things you'd never even think about.
Exactly. And these aren't just, wild hypotheticals. They really underscore how incredibly vital healthcare facility safety is.
Absolutely non-negotiable.
So welcome, everyone. Today we're doing a deep dive into healthcare facility safety, and we're going to explore how it's much more than just like a department or ticking boxes.
All right. It's really the foundation for everything else, operations, clinical care, and just the public's trust in the system.
Our mission today, then, is to unpack what goes into making a healthcare facility truly safe. We're looking at the core systems, the benchmarks used around the world, the actual strategies involved.
And we're drawing on a pretty comprehensive roadmap to healthcare facility safety for this. It connects the dots between international standards and national bodies like NHRA in Bahrain, the WHO, OSHA in the US, and JCI.
So, this deep dive. It's your shortcut to understanding how safety gets engineered into literally every single part of a healthcare facility, from preventing infections you can't even see to managing cyber threats.
It's surprisingly complex.
And you're about to find out why it's, more critical now than maybe ever before. Okay, let's dig in. When we think hospital safety, I think most of us immediately picture the medical side of things, procedures, diagnoses.
Yeah, the clinical aspect.
But this roadmap suggests a truly safe facility goes way beyond that. What's maybe a blind spot people have?
Well, what's really interesting in the source material is how much it broadens that definition. It's not just clinical harm we're talking about.
Okay.
It's harm across all areas. Clinical, yes, but also environmental, occupational. Yeah. It's about protecting everyone there, patients, staff, even visitors.
Right.
And a really key point, it's about being proactive.
Yeah.
Looking for hazards before they cause harm, not just reacting afterwards.
And here's something that really jumped out at me. The roadmap insists safety isn't like an add-on feature.
No, not at all.
It's baked right into the facility's design, the leadership structure, how supplies are managed, the technology used, even how staff behave day to day.
It's dynamic. It needs constant attention monitoring, reporting incidents, learning, improving.
So it's truly holistic. Like the building itself has safety embedded in its DNA.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
It sounds huge, maybe a bit overwhelming to manage. But the roadmap breaks it down neatly into 5 pillars, which helps make sense of it. Where do we start?
We start with the most tangible thing, the physical environment, structural safety.
Okay, the building itself.
Exactly. Pillar 1 focuses on the ground it stands on, the walls around you. Think about fire and life safety compliance. This isn't just fire extinguishers.
Right.
It means following strict standards, like from the NFPA, that's the National Fire Protection Association, and local civil defense rules. It covers sophisticated fire detection, clear escape routes, even smoke control system to manage airflow in a fire.
Makes total sense. So sticking with the physical environment, what else falls under this pillar beyond fire safety?
Oh, a big one is HVAC. Heating, ventilation, air conditioning.
Right.
Well, yes, but much more. These systems are critical for infection control. Think HEPA, filters trapping tiny particles, special negative pressure rooms to contain airborne infections, even just regularly cleaning the ducts. It's all about managing the air.
Wow, okay.
Then you've got electrical and biomedical equipment safety. This involves constant preventive maintenance, testing equipment under load, checking grounding. Absolutely vital when machines are keeping people alive.
And you mentioned something earlier, facility zoning and flow. That caught my eye. It's not just about layout, is it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's highly strategic. You need clear separation between clean zones like operating rooms and dirty zones like waste disposal areas. You need carefully planned workflows for sterile supplies, specific paths for patients and staff to walk. It's all designed to minimize cross-contamination and just make things run smoothly and safely.
I see. And the sources mention things like AHRA standards and the Facility Guidelines Institute, FGI, so there are real benchmarks for this stuff.
Absolutely. International standards guide this level of detail.
Okay, so the building structure and systems are secure. But hospitals face invisible threats too, right? What's the next layer?
That takes us right into Pillar 2. Infection, Prevention, and Control. IPC. Hugely important.
The germs.
Exactly. Keeping infections at bay. It starts with the basics we all know, like rigorous hand hygiene, constant reminders and checks, and having PPE stations readily available. Personal protective equipment.
Yeah.
But it goes deeper. The roadmap mentions ATP monitoring. That's adenosine triphosphate. It's a way to instantly measure, biochemically, how clean a surface actually is after wiping it down.
Whoa, okay, that's high-tech cleaning.
It is. And things like water and surface surveillance, actively testing water systems for bacteria like Legionella, which can thrive in complex plumbing.
And even basic things get a safety upgrade, like waste.
Right. Proper waste management systems are crucial. Color-coded bins for different types of waste, sealed carts for transport, often using specialized contractors for biomedical waste, all following specific rules like the NHRA regulations mentioned.
So it draws on WHO guidelines, CDC recommendations. It's a whole system.
It truly is. Every piece matters in preventing infections.
Now, thinking bigger picture, it's not just the patients and the building. What about the staff?
Excellent point. Pillar 3 is occupational health and workforce safety, protecting the caregivers themselves.
Protecting the protectors. Makes sense.
Yeah.
How do facilities do that? What are some maybe less obvious ways?
Well, think about sharps. Needle tick injuries are a real risk. So it's about using safety-engineered devices, but also having clear protocols for what to do if an exposure happens. PEP, post-exposure prophylaxis.
Got it.
Then there's ergonomics, training staff on safe lifting, how to avoid strains, even things like installing anti-fatigue flooring in areas where staff stand for hours.
And it goes beyond just physical safety too, right? The roadmap mentioned mental health.
Yes, absolutely. Mental health and violence prevention are part of this. That can mean crisis intervention training for staff dealing with agitated patients or visitors, and providing access to counseling and support services.
Important.
Plus, the basics like ensuring staff are vaccinated against things like Hep B, flu, TB, and having health surveillance programs. OSHA guidelines are really key here. It's about the total well-being of the workforce.
Okay, so building, infections, staff. Now let's get to what probably pops into most people's heads first when they hear patient safety.
Right. Pillar 4, clinical risk and patient safety infrastructure. This is about the processes directly touching the patient.
And medication safety is huge here, I imagine.
Huge. Safe medication systems use multiple layers. Things like HALISA labeling look-alike, sound-alike drugs, using tall man letters to distinguish them visually, like hydroxyzine versus hydrolysine.
Ah, I've seen that.
Yeah. Automated dispensing cabinets, ADCs that control access, and barcode administration, scanning the patient's wristband, scanning the medication barcode. It builds and checks.
That's really smart. What else?
Patient identification is critical, using at least 2 identifiers, name and date of birth, usually. And structured handover protocols like SBAR.
SBAR.
Situation, background, assessment, recommendation. It's a standardized way for staff to communicate key patient info during shift changes or transfers, reducing missed information.
Okay.
And for surgeries, the WHO Safe Surgery Checklist is standard practice now, verifying everything before starting. The timeout, where the whole team pauses to confirm patient, procedure, site, it's non-negotiable.
Even falls, which seem common, get this detailed approach.
Definitely. Fall prevention involves assessing each patient's risk, using bedside signs, maybe bed alarms or sensors for high-risk patients. JCI's international patient safety goals are a big driver for these kinds of practices.
It's incredibly layered. Okay, final pillar. What about when things go really wrong? The unexpected.
That's pillar 5, emergency preparedness and disaster resilience. How well can the facility handle a crisis?
And this isn't just fires or floods anymore, is it?
No, the planning has to be all hazard. That means plans for fires, floods, yes, but also pandemics, major cyber attacks, chemical spills, even mass casualty incidents from external events.
Wow, how do they prepare for such different things?
A key element mentioned is simulation training. Running drills, tabletop exercises where teams walk through scenarios. Practicing the response is critical, so it becomes almost second nature.
Like muscle memory for the whole organization.
Exactly. It also includes having solid utility failure plans, backup generators that kick in automatically, reserve water supplies, and knowing how to coordinate with external agencies, civil defense, Ministry of Health, EMS, police. That interagency coordination is vital.
The WHO Hospital Emergency Response Checklist provides a framework here too, it seems.
Yes, it helps ensure facilities have covered the key bases for readiness.
Okay, we've walked through these 5 pillars: physical environment, infection control, staff safety, clinical processes, emergency readiness. It's complex. Who actually makes all this happen? It can't just be one department checking boxes.
You're absolutely right. And this brings us to maybe the most crucial factor identified in the roadmap: leadership.
Ah, the role from the top.
Precisely. Leadership isn't just about setting policy. It's about actively building and sustaining a culture of safety throughout the entire organization.
So what does that look like in practice?
It means having a dedicated facility safety officer, someone whose job this is,
Mm-hmm.
establishing a safety management committee with real authority.
Okay.
It means allocating the budget needed for upgrades, for new safety technology, for ongoing staff training. You can't do safety on the cheap.
And a point that really stood out to me, integrating safety metrics, KPIs, into the main performance dashboards, making it visible, trackable.
Yes, making safety a core part of how success is measured, right alongside financial performance or patient satisfaction.
Right.
But maybe the most powerful thing leadership does, fostering a culture where reporting incidents or near misses is encouraged and it's non-punitive.
So people aren't afraid to speak up when something's wrong or almost went wrong.
Exactly. It's about learning, not blaming. Sharing that data transparently. That's how you build what the roadmap calls a smart safety culture, that blend of leadership, commitment, continuous learning, and operational discipline. It's a cycle.
And it connects to some of the organizations mentioned, like Smart Management Consultancy. They seem to be the ones helping hospitals actually implement these complex frameworks.
Yeah, translating the standards NHRA, JCIA, WHO, ISO into practice.
Yeah.
Doing gap assessments, writing the SOPs, running those drills we talked about, making it real.
Okay. So wrapping this up for our listeners, what's the big takeaway here?
I think the main thing is that healthcare facility safety is just vastly more complex and integrated than most people realize. It's not a checklist.
No, it's this ongoing strategic effort. It needs the right building, the right people, the right processes, the right policies, all working together constantly.
And hopefully, you now have a much clearer picture of all those layers working behind the scenes to create a safe environment, from the air systems to the emergency plans.
It really is about building trust, ensuring peace of mind for everyone involved.
Definitely.
So the roadmap ends with this thought. More than ever, patients and regulators expect healthcare institutions to deliver not just care, but safe care. This expectation seems to be rising.
It certainly is.
Which leaves us with a question, maybe. What does this rising expectation mean for the future? How will hospitals keep innovating to meet these demands, especially as healthcare gets even more complex? What new challenges might pop up?
That's the ongoing question, isn't it? But the core message is clear. Investing in safety today is fundamentally about saving lives, protecting reputations, and using resources wisely tomorrow. It's not optional.
A crucial investment indeed.